challenges that needs to be surmounted, and then the kind of leadership that needs to be prepared to do that. I think today the challenges are, pretty much quite difficult challenges. You have big macroeconomic issues that one has to tackle. You have fiscal challenges that countries are going through because of the issue of COVID, which put economics back and fiscal space got contracted. You still have challenges in terms of access to health, big challenges in terms of youth unemployment, which is very, very high that we have. Now you have other challenges in terms of security, they're all different challenges that we have today. But, leaders, good leaders should not be really disturbed by challenges. I think the job of a leader is to assess them, is to be prepared for them, but is to be relentless in solving them. So I think the principles that are the things that I can garner, from Papa Bolowo and other leaders, is the ability to stay focused, ability to put people at the center of public policy, ability to be impatient with underdevelopment, the ability to make sure that whatever we do, we constantly improving the lives and quality of life of our people. I always say that, for me, the thing that I always say is that poverty should not be a comparative advantage, neither of Nigeria, nor even be a comparative advantage of Africa. So I think leadership is not so much sometimes about your head, because you use your head to think, but good leaders must lead always from their heart, which is always putting people first. And that is what I think that we need to make that kind of a shift, that it's not about you. A leader is an instrument for change. It's about the people the leader is supposed to serve.
And that's where we'll be looking at today, state of the nation, leadership, and all that we talked about earlier today might come into play here. And to help us in this, we have Tunde Bank-Anthony, former Director General, Sports Commission, Lagos, who was also a member of the All Progressives Congress. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Bank-Anthony.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
And you look well.
Thank you so much.
So tell us, do you feel well?
Well, I feel good.
Fantastic.
I feel good. Thank you very much.
If you look at the state of the nation, do you feel good about it?
Well, you see, it's very, it could be better. Honestly, it could be better. But we have to be thankful that we are here, we are now than where we were before, probably a year ago. And I've been in Abuja now for a few months, to be sincere, right? I've seen a lot happening. Like, I'm not praising Wike or my party, but what I've seen in Abuja now in terms of the road construction, I mean, for people who have been here for a few years, they would tell you everything stopped after Jonathan. And you could see movements, you could see things going on, right? On the road, new openings, construction going on, things have been done physically that I can see, you understand me? And the overall picture, right? Things are hard, understand me? But at the same time, governance is not a tea party. It's a very comprehensive and very big, it's a bigger problem than solution. That's the reality. And you have to key in and understand what the problems are before you can offer a solution to it. Now, the president came and said, okay, oil subsidy is gone, right? That moment, Nigerians took advantage of it. All sorts of racketeering went into it, forgetting we are coming back to still bear the grunt of it, right? How settled are we now? Everybody, food prices is going, there is food. We have enough food in this country, but how do we buy it? The money is not there. Because why? They've increased their prices. You understand?
But what do you expect from people who provide their own power, provide their own water? So the moment subsidy, by that declaration, the prices of fuel for their generators went up. The prices of fuel to pump the water went up. So they are looking for how to make up for that, and so they up their own food prices.
You see, without a doubt, the cost of production will go up because some certain fundamental requirements have gone up. But I will put it to you that if you look at what is happening in the country now, I don't know how much percentage your own salary has gone up. You understand me? Comparative to what we are going on now. because it's very difficult in the middle of the road, in the middle of the game, to move the goalpost. We have to sit down and plan. How do we solve this problem? You understand me? Do we need enough food in circulation at a probably well-subsidized prices? If we can subsidize the food than the petrol, we are going to be the winner of that at the end of the day, because food is not important. Majority of Nigerians who want to eat, we should all be eating, are more than those who are thinking of buying petrol for their cars and buying petrol for their generator. Without a doubt, everyone is important. Everyone is, and you could see the president listens. I mean, you give that to him, he listens. I mean, okay, the way he's been dealing with his cabinet members, the way he's been reacting to the public accusation and public blasting him, he listen and take action.
You know, there's some who would argue, will not agree with you. They'll tell you that this is a knee-jerk approach. The president listens, and he takes actions and takes decisions. But are his team members listening? Are they taking action as the president is taking action? Are they acting according to the president's directive, or they are acting according to their political affiliations? So that's where you need to play a balance.
I love that question, and I'm glad you threw that to me. Fantastic question, which is a fact. You understand me? Like he said it clearly, the box top on my table, right? And I will do what I need to do when I get it on my table. And I'm glad you said it. He always do that thing. But how efficient the implementation? I know from here, he's a fantastic resource manager. Give that to Bola Tinubu when there anytime. He knows how to put the brains together and they function. But right now, you guys have to call them out. It's your job as well. As the media people, you have to call them out, because they hold the people responsibility to give an account. The president can't give an account. That is why I said in your studio years ago, I prefer parliamentary system of government. It's very accountable. You have to go to the parliament to face question time at least once or twice a week. So you cannot come back and tell people the same thing every week. You have to be accountable. So our ministers have to be accountable. I'm not speaking for Wike, not that I know. I never seen Wike before in my life, so I'm on the telly. But from where I am today now, I could see what he's doing. I could see what he's doing. So it's like at the end of the day, if you put them on the hot seat there, minister, please, the president has given a directive. What are you doing about this thing he has said we should do? But the point is that, I mean, he probably will not come because he has nothing to say at the moment, but he has to give account to Nigerians. That is the bottom line. That is democracy. There is no short way about it. If people want to know, like you said earlier, I listened to you, you want to know how much is your part of the budget. What comes to you as a Nigerian? That is the way it should be. But you know, it will take us a while to get there. But accountability in the democracy is extremely, extremely important.
So in a situation where you're running down the road and you're seeing that things are not going right, or things are not working out the way you're planning to, at what point do you stop and redirect or restructure? At what point do you do that?
I mean, well, one thing you should give to Nigerians, let me say it to you, right? Understand me. If you go by the account of the former government, which is our same party, right? Same party, right? That people come out now to condemn and to tell you they've done very badly, they didn't do well enough, which is now probably a majority of people who come to agree to that kind of school of thought. And APC still won the election. You understand me? It's like we are able to draw a line between personalities. You know, I mean, like in the cabinet system of government, a change of leadership, right? Even if you are doing so badly, a change of leadership, right, could sway it. I will give you a very known example that is known to everybody. Neville Chamberlain, not your Chamberlain, was the prime minister during the Second World War. of the Conservative Party. But he could not pull it together. He was so afraid of the Nazi Germany. But it was replaced not by election, but by internal party leadership. And Churchill came in. And I don't think in history, most people don't remember Chamberlain Neville like they do Churchill. So we need a general that can marshal the same kind of squad in different directions. Leadership is very key. Leadership is very, very key. And you must be willing to be a major player in that cabinet responsibility. Anything short of that, you have to leave the room. That is reality.
Okay, you talked about your desire for a parliamentary system of government because members of cabinet have to give account on a weekly basis.
They have to.
But we do not have a parliamentary system of government. We have a presidential system of government.
We do.
And then in this case, the members of the cabinet have to meet with Senate committees, legislative committees, practically every week to give account and all that. The question is, are they not being held accountable? Are you implying that based on that they are not being held accountable by the legislature?
Let me make a clear distinction for you, right? When you go into the parliament, the cabinet system of government, you understand me? You are a cabinet member and you are a member of parliament as well. You understand me?
Yes.
So there's no running away for you. I know of so many times the parliament in Nigeria here will call ministers, they will tell them, I'm sick. Even when you call an agency chairman, if she tell you she's sick, she's not in the country. But as a parliamentarian, we are in the house together. You understand me? You may go to your ministry, you have to come back to the house. So the responsibility of you are coming, you'll probably come to the parliament in this system to speak to them about because most of the time oversight function is what they do. It's a complete different system. Division of labor, separation of power exists. You understand me? And the humongous cost of running this system between you and I, government is a very expensive business. If you run for a seat in that system and you become a member of cabinet, you know what your goals are. It's very easy to become a team player and identify with the policy and program of your party in government. We saw it in the First Republic. We saw it in the North, in the East, and in the West. These are people of very common background and common knowledge. They were focused on what they want to do.
Mr. Mark Anthony, the accountability system and the checks and balances that we desire, or holding the people accountable, holding those in appointed offices or elected offices accountable, seem not to be working. Maybe some will say because the party system is even messed up in itself, because within the parties, all the parties are basically, APC has internal party crisis, so they can't even, they're not holding those appointed accountable to say, hey, this is where our party, these are the promises our party made to the Nigerian people. This is what we're supposed to be doing. That is not even happening. So how do we get out of this? You talked about the cost of governance. Rising cost of living is also there. Who would serve the Nigerian people?
The point is that, one, with due respect to you, the political class are still minority in government. Due respect to the civil servants, understand me? Like they say, soldier go, soldier come, barracks remain. The civil servants are the fabric, are the real fabric of our society, without a doubt, right? And how much responsibility did they take, and how much light I'm sorry that the media take on them? You understand me? Look at the case of this kidnapping now, right? There's a DPO in that local government, right? There's a secretary for education in that local government. You understand me? Then there's a commissioner for education in that state. Then there's a governor in that state. But the system, the Nigerian system, Bola Tinubu, where's my child? You understand me? And what are we driving at? We are getting deluded by shifting blame from where it should be. Because what are we going to take away from the Chibok kidnapping? What have we learned? If you travel on the length of this of this country, you see a lot of schools, to be sincere. Oh, just open. You can walk in. After Chibok, right, there should be a kind of security around the schools. If you go to any government institution and see the requirement, they will ask you for a private schools what they want, what they need to be in place. You'll be shocked. But I believe this school is a government school. So we need to focus more on who are responsible for these things in the local government, who are civil servants.
You say, why you talk about the civil servant? You said they're calling the president, President Tinubu, where is my child? Maybe that's because we still have a central system of security system.
That's it.
And so that's why that call's going on there. But there's also the Safe School Initiative that's been put in place.
Of course.
Which is also being managed from the central point of view. No,
I don't think so, because,
it's being managed from the central point of view. There's a central point where it's all spreading down. I mean, it was from the federal government that the Safe School Initiative was started.
True.
Yes, the states have their counterpart funding and all that. But at the end of the day, the question I asked earlier was this. There is a party that was elected. Our constitution says there's a party that is elected. The party can say, Mr. Bank Anthony, you've been appointed into this office to serve on the BS of our party.
Of course.
It's our party that will be held accountable.
Yes.
But if the party in itself is not together, how would they hold those in service or in the different offices accountable?
But let's go to the basic first. Your analyses are very correct. But now, I've been appointed in that office. Who will I work with? Am I going to work with APC member or PDP member or civil servant? I'm going to work with the civil servant. Understand me? So we come with the policy. Bulk of the implementation lies with them to key into the policy we are bringing to the table. But how are we going to manage and get progress and be successful with it? So we need to. That is why I said to people, National Orientation Agency, they have a lot of job to do. We need a lot of reorientation in this country because people look at the wrong side of things entirely. They don't know where to look into, because if after the Chibok issue, we still have something like this happening, then we should all look ourselves in the eye and say we blame each other. What are the basic things that are really lacking in those areas? Security. I'm not calling them, but if you go to that school, understand me, you will see how porous most government schools are. You could just walk in there and nobody will stop you. I mean, it's very porous. After Chibok, should have been a minimum standard of security that local government in each areas should provide for their schools. It's very, very important.
But do the local government have the security?
Every local government chairman even have security votes.
Okay.
In a scenario like, did you know that the mayor of London, right? The mayor of any city, the chief of police reports to the mayor of London, not to the prime minister. He's in charge of them.
The chief of police in
the city,
London.
Yes, reports to the mayor of London, not to the prime minister. They are the mayor of those cities.
Okay.
Right? So the more the governor should understand it and give the local government the necessary power and what they have, what they need to implement their functions, the better we are going to go.
Mr. Bakatari, you see, that conversation again comes down to where a lot of people have gone to right now recently, saying calling for state police to give room for the governors and the local governments even to get their own police so that they can say, for our schools, this is what we are doing. Lagos State, for instance, has a security trust fund. Funding the police, funding the other security apparatus, as the case may be. But even at that, wouldn't Lagos be happier to have its own police system so that they can structure it the way it works for them?
Lagos State has the neighborhood watch. They fund the police through Lagos State Security Trust Fund. They have the LASMA as well. You understand me? But state police, is a welcome development across board. But you know something? We need to put things in place so we don't end up back to square one. You understand me? Because we need to know who are they reporting to. You understand? Like I said to you, the mayor of London, we have 3 police in London City alone, just in London. the British Transport Police, Metropolitan Police, and City Police. And the mayor of London is the person, not the Prime Minister, they report to. So we need to understand that for us to limit the abuse of power, right? I will definitely say we need a state police to function for the benefit of our people and our security. It's utmost important that we have that.
I think my colleague has a couple of questions.
Well, thank you, Nyota. Mr. Bank-Anthony, it's good to see you again.
Good morning.
You know, good morning. Let me begin. Let me try to coagulate one or two issues together and use it to ask you this question. You talked about the appointments of Mr. President and the fact that, those people, they were selected for one thing or the other and all of that. You know, one of those appointments is that of the Ministers of Defense. The Minister of Defense is the former governor of Jigawa State. The Minister of State for Defense is the former governor of Zamfara State. Now, they understand how states run, how security apparatus run in states. And yet, since 2014, as you said, almost all through the 8 years of the previous administration and into this administration, less than 1 year, we have had spates of kidnappings in tens, in some cases in hundreds. So the president has promised that anyone who doesn't deliver, he's going to sack. Do you see anything happening in that regard anytime soon?
Definitely. I can assure you, if you can't deliver, you have to leave. And to go to the issue of defense, you see, security is not really defense. Let's make that clear. We have security agencies in our country, at least 3 different or 4 different ones. Then we have the police, understand me? And what we need more is intelligence gathering. That's what is lacking. That is what is seriously lacking. And
are you suggesting, Mr. Bank-Anthony, just a second, just 1 second. Are you suggesting that the kidnappings, the abductions in Borno State of 200 women, internally displaced persons, the abductions of almost 300 pupils in Kaduna State, and the abduction of about 15 or so we hear in Sokoto State, there was no intelligence to the effect. And they happened so easily, and no one noticed and no one said anything.
Well, I'm very glad with your comment that it happened so easily. You understand me? So are you telling us, are you telling viewers that definitely there was negligence, that there was a report that they did not follow? You understand? Because what I said clearly, we have a problem with intelligence gathering, understand, or implementation, because like you said, 200 people moving at the same time, right? It's not. I
want to be clear, Mr. Bank-Anthony. I want to understand. You said something very, very critical the other time, that there is a DPO in every local government area in Nigeria. We are also aware that there is a DSS official. There is a DSS official in every local government in Nigeria. So when you say there is a problem with intelligence gathering, on who does that bulk of intelligence stop? I don't think that is the president. It is some people's job to gather intelligence, and some other people's job to act on that intelligence. So what is missing? You just helped me to answer my question. You understand me? DSS claimed they have offices in all local governments, right? How serious and now equipped are those offices, right? Maybe you need to bring down the director of DSS to explain to us the way they work. DSS is there, police is there, you understand me? SSS is there. Are they coordinating together? You understand me? Are they coordinating together in those local governments? So these things, like I said to you, the president cannot be held responsible. By the end of the day, I said it, the box top on my table. How efficient are our local chairmen, the governors? Because going back to what you said about the defense minister here and there, their former governors, they understand state security, they do. But the reality is that, you understand me, you will act on something. And this is a country where we don't even have enough resources. How many policemen do we have right now in Nigeria? How many are the SSS
officers we have in Nigeria, how many could we put in a local government to safeguard for security purposes? So some things need serious reviewing, without a doubt. Without a doubt. And these are the things they ought to recommend to their superiors and upwardly to the table of Mr. President, because everything has cost management involvement in them. So for me, right, I'm not saying or trying to put this agency down, but it is clear, very clear, that those security agencies are not coordinating very well enough. Because this is becoming like a conspiracy. You understand me? Kidnapping in one part of the country all the time. You understand me? And let me add something here, please, Ayo. I met a senior military officer who said to me what they've been doing regarding security, regarding oil theft and everything. Now you understand, but there's a restriction on them to come out and speak to it. But they're looking at a way that the government has invested so much in security, and I believe that comes under defense as well, in protecting our natural resources. So we need to understand that in the area where I mean, defense, they need to do something. I'm not defending them as ministers or as my party member, no. But the issue of security, you understand me, and safety, you understand me, we are talking with the security agencies. That's with their forte. Even the National Civil Service, civil defense as well. They are part of the security agency now. So we have more than enough, right?
Yes, you're right, Mr.
Play an active role.
Yeah, we have quite a number of security agencies, more than 10, if not up to 13 or so, in, at my last count. And I mean, you have also said that there's a difference between security and defense. Perhaps that's some semantics on the number of people might say. But then the issue here, I mean, you've also talked about us protecting our natural resources. The human resources, some people will argue with you, is far more important than anything else. The fact that children are being abducted and taken into parts that are just absolutely unimaginable. It's scarring their minds and scarring their capacity to be productive for this nation in the near or far future. Now, what do you see missing and what needs to be done urgently? There are those who would say, okay, we had Senator Obanikoro sometime last week, and he was talking about the fact that, look, the people who are involved in some of the, he insinuated that there are people and issues involved in these kidnappings that if they were made known, that Nigeria will burn. Those are his words. And we've also heard governors, serving governors, tell us on this program in this country that there are powerful forces behind some of these insecurity issues we had. We have had ministers say the same thing. So is it that there are some people that are above the law? Because these issues have traversed governments. This is the third government that is dealing with this particular issue. 2014, it was the Jonathan government. The 2015 to 2023, it was the Buhari government. All kinds of kidnappings. And now, the Tinubu government is dealing with the same thing. Is it that these issues are escaping us, or there are some forces too powerful for governments to handle, in your opinion?
Well, thank you very much. You know something? I mean, when you work with someone, you know their character and what have you. And I'm bold to tell you that the current president we have now, Bola Tinubu, you understand me? I don't think maybe that mentality we had for so many years, that when you come on a program to speak to Nigerians and you make a certain claim or allegation about the security of this country, about what you know and what you can give as an account, the security should call you in to come and help. But have they done that? When will they start doing that? When governors are making statements like that, or ministers are making statements like that, and they just make it and they go away. What are we talking about here? How do we solve the problem? We need to be more inclusive. Intelligence gathering is beyond the security corridor. It's beyond it.
Are you saying, Mr. Bankantri, just 1 second, are you saying that the security agencies, yes, are you saying security agencies are not aware of these issues that have been raised over the years?
You said something now, Mr. Makinde, and let me quickly make one correction, right? Without a doubt, I mean, the security and the safety of Nigerians' life is more ahead of what we call our resources, because it's meant for them. Let me move forward now. You understand me? If they are aware, if the security agency are aware, where are the results now in 10 years or in 12 years? So if somebody can come here, you said the minister came here, a former governor came here, and they said clearly what we know, you understand me? Anywhere in the world, right? What you talk about, even community police intelligence gathering, is the people that come up with what they know, what they see. That's part of it. That is the way problem are solved. Because those officers are not there at the scene of the crime, but people are there. People know something. What do you know? What do you see? Neighbor to neighbor, tell us. We need to build that confidence in our people. Like they can relate with the officers and help the community. Anything short of that, we are just going to be groping in the dark. That is reality. We need an internal arrangement with our people to let them know, and you know something, we are part of this together. It's all inclusion. Right? Wearing a uniform does not make you superior to a civilian in Nigeria. You go to them for help, they will help you. That is my own take.
Mr. McAntony, yes. You see, again, you've taken this back again to the people.
Yes.
But the people will tell you that they employed you, not necessarily you.
That's right.
And they voted for you.
Yes.
They're paying you. The taxes are used to service you. So you're there to serve the people. Yeah. And you should be able to talk to the people. Some will say that one of the biggest challenges that leadership has in Nigeria is the fact that they don't talk to Nigerians. I feel like if we talk to Nigerians, that's a problem. Yeah. Can that be remedied?
That's why I said to you, the National Orientation Agency has a lot of work to do. You understand me? Everywhere in the world that is civilized, like you said, you voted for them, you employ them, you do, but at the same time, the people still play a very, very significant role in getting things done. Go to so many landmark cases across. You need in the community. What do you see? What do you know? What do you know? What do you know of this man? Like we say in my Yoruba town, your son is not a watchman. He's bringing clothes in. All these little things are things that they are very basic, but they're very important. You cannot ignore to come to an area and say, oh, let's assume an accident happened on the express road, right? Hey, people must have seen something. Your manner of approach and connection to them will make them come out and tell you what they have seen. That is the reality. People snitch on their husband, on their wife, on their kids. If they believe it's for the public good. So the more we start speaking inwards and looking inwards, the better for us. The government can do everything for us.
Okay, so do the people have that confidence to talk to the government or its agencies?
You know what? I'm glad now we are in this world of the Gen Z and the millennial and everything, you understand me? Where everything is being said, wrongly or rightly. You understand me? If I live here now, they can abuse me 1,000 times. You understand me? So it's not so. So there's a way. You see, if you can reorient them in that direction, you understand me? I mean, there's a way we can talk to our government. There must be meditation between the people and the government. Right now, we have at least reasonable young people in government, in the state and in the federal level. You understand me? And they are key part of this government. So they have a role to play there. So you cannot say, okay, now they're all old people. They don't know what is going on. Everybody's on Twitter handle. They're on social media. You understand me? If you go there, you try to say what they abuse you, you will leave. You understand? Because you can never win the war with them. So that same medium can be used in a more positive manner than being aggressive. I know there's a lot of aggression in our people, without a doubt. There's a lot of aggression, but of anger in people. But you know what? That is not the point. But people should stop inciting with all manner of languages, of action. We are here, so we know where to go. Like President said, he's throwing jabs to the labor the other time. He's going to be here for the next 3.5 years now. There's nothing you can do about it. Meet me at the polling booth at the next time. So let's work together. Let's build this process together. Let's see the benefit of it together.
Just before we let you go, you know, this thing about let's work together, let's build together,
Yes.
let's see the benefits together. There are those who will say, while you're calling for the people to show their patriotism, and I alluded to that as well, let's see the patriotism of those in public office, the politicians, their appointees, and all of that. What advice would you give to those in office and then the Nigerians, while they're telling Nigerians to be patriotic, to love this nation?
You know
what advice would you give to
Nigerians
them?
patriotic? Nigerians, including the government, the people in power, people in office, it's everybody. It's not people that are not in government. No, we are all Nigerians. And the last time, as you said, the president has cut down his entry rate to 20 and the wife to 5. And it's going to be a tall order if you understand governance. Will the president tell his doctor he cannot go with him? You understand me? Or tell the minister they cannot go with him? So it's a major sacrifice, if you understand what I'm trying to tell you. Because, I mean, anything lack of the standard procedure of government that they operate with, if anything should happen, they will be held responsible. So about Nigerians being patriotic, I'm not excluding the ruling class from it at all. We all have to be patriotic for the sake of this country to move forward.
You know, talking about that cutting down of his entourage, his travel entourage.
Yes.
The last time the president traveled, there was a lot of conversation around his 2 sons who are there, part of that entourage. And then even in the protocol order, they were standing before the ministers.
I've read a lot of stuff about it, to be sincere, but let me take it on a personal level. I'm serious. And I'm being extremely honest. Let me take it on a personal level, right? How well you know people. I can tell you something for free about the president, right? And I'm not here I'm not singing his praises or making anything for him. It is a guy that young boy here you are looking at, right? I will tell you, he was so deprived of his father for so many years. For so many years. You understand me that? Even as a primary school, it was a boarding school. You understand me? Then from that moment you're at boarding school, you know, you lose your son or your daughter. You understand me? So, I mean, if the president, now, you know something, if there's a window to spend time, okay, he left England, he came back to Nigeria, he went straight into government, right? From there, he has been very busy, you understand me? So, I'm talking from a personal point of view because my husband told me, you left me when I was 1+, and the gap still exists till today.
Okay. Mr. Bank Anthony, who really like to we have to let it go here at this point. I want to thank you so much. Mr. Tinubu Bank Anthony is a former Director General of the Sports Commission in Lagos. And a Harvard alumni.
That's right.
And also a member of the All Progressives Congress.
Thank you so
much. Thank you again for coming in this morning.
Welcome.
Let's hope that you're able to make up time with your son.
Thank you so much.